One of the great leaders that we're going to have in these webinar series, and we're going to do tons of them because you guys need the information so you can be trained, is I do a lot of videos here and a lot of trainings. And of course, I tell you that we need to collect raw data collection sheets. You've got to monitor IEP progress, implementation, so we know if a student made success, if they made gains, if they made expected progress, right? And I hear all the time from you guys, we don't have to take data. That's not the law. Let's see what a hearing officer has to say about that. So Dr. Yell, tell us, do school-based members have to take data?
Yes, they do, and that's an excellent question. I get that question a lot. I see it in due process hearings a lot. We have, since 1990, when the idea was reauthorized, we have to write measurable annual goals. And in addition to writing measurable annual goals, we also have to, in the IEP, state how we're going to measure the goals and how are we going to report the child's progress to his or her parents and how frequently. All this has to be done in the IEP process, which implies that you, one, have to write measurable goals, two, you have to develop a way to measure them, and three, you actually have to measure them and then report what you measured to a student's parents.
And who writes that data down? Where is that written down? I had somebody tell me one time it was personal. What would you say to that?
I would say that is overall the responsibility of the IEP team, but almost always that is going to be the child's teacher who will be primarily responsible for implementing that IEP.
And where would we find that data if we were doing an open records request? What would that be called?
Usually progress reports it'll be called. And I, as a due process hearing officer, I've seen parents ask for progress reports and schools are not able to provide them. One of a famous attorney who worked in Virginia, I heard her at a conference one day, and she only represented school districts that I go to when I have a FAPE case or a case about free appropriate public education. I go to the teacher and say, give me your data. If I don't get the data, I consider advising the school district to settle.